And this is based on firms which prepared municipal audits for the fiscal year ending 6/30/06. We have,
Mike, do you have that?
yeah.
Ed gave it to me.
There's two categories here. There's auditing firms that have audited less than 6 municipalities for the fiscal year ending 6/30. But then there's municipal auditing firms that have audited 55 municipalities. One audited 12, another audited 20. So I'm trying to understand your point of view and determine what's the difference between that and some of these who are actually specialists in auditing municipalities. What will the town get for the incremental cost versus what these experts can provide us? That's my question. That's where I'm kind of hung up on it.
I don't want to cut off Mike's answer because I do want to hear it said, but my understanding, Mike, is that I'm not sure if it's these firms, but that the types of firms that do fraud firms are accounting firms. Most of the ones I know have subspecialty, perhaps within the firm, to do it. It's the same firm, it's just that they have people who are certified fraud investigators or whatever they do that do this, but I apologize, Mike, go ahead.
No, I'd be looking for a shorter time frame, a shorter time horizon, rather than finding out in December when the CAFR comes out what they might have found. I mean, I think, you know, we're trying to get some answers right now and make changes right now as soon as possible, because there is some concern that there still might be some problems out there. Now, I'm not sure about that, but I will say that we can't delay this any more than is necessary. And this is something that, you know, you can have a grass fire, and you can have a building fire, and you can have a chemical fire. We have a chemical fire here, and we got to get chemicals, and this is exactly the discipline of accounting that we should be employing here to get to the bottom of this.
One of the other thoughts that I had in looking at this list again, there happens to be a firm here, Blum, Shapiro, Scully, and Wolf. I have no idea who they are, other than the fact that it's listed here that they've audited 55 municipalities.
Blum Shapiro is one
That's
of
a
the
firm
largest
that
sub.
merged. That's a firm that
Yeah,
merged, okay.
but Blum Shapiro is one of the largest sub-regionals in the country.
So,
Right from West Ark.
so I look at this and say, you know, perhaps we had one of these auditing firms come in. On this list also is Levitsky and Bernie. It would be interesting to me to have another one of these people come in to potentially determine for us, maybe we should replace Levitsky and Bernie with one of these experts here.
Well, I think we've already concluded that Levitsky and Bernie won't be rehired.
Well, I realize that, but it's almost a check on Levitsky and Bernie by another one of the companies that are experts for the municipalities.
What sort of check are you asking to occur here?
Well, if we looked at one of these companies are experts in auditing municipalities. In my mind, there was a dual process. To check the auditor that did our audit, but also check the other information that we're looking to determine for any additional fraud, if there was any additional fraud, and try to find out what really went on here. So I thought one of these firms could accomplish both, but you seem to think that a forensic audit would be much more comprehensive than anything that one of these
Well,
would do?
it's not exactly comprehensive. It is comprehensive, but it's in a concentrated form. So it's going to examine. It's going to try to target the problem.
Okay, but what you're saying is these firms might not be able to do that?
No, I'm saying that they as long as they're certified, I believe it's CREA is the designation, then they can conduct a forensic audit. So most of them probably will have people in there who are qualified, and so that's fine. That list.
Okay, I thought you were just going with this list.
No,
Okay, I'm sorry.
no,
All right.
no, that list could be perfect to work on. Okay. But I'm just calling, I'm saying that this subcommittee should recommend to the Board of Finance that in addition to the town audit, there should be a forensic audit to investigate the issues and the financial issues that were cited in the affidavits. charges that have occurred in problems here in finance.
Now, I was thinking that after this point, we should work on trying to select one of the firms from here who have years of experience and have worked on numerous municipalities. Because every municipal firm that did an audit on a municipality in Connecticut last year was represented here, so.
Right. Do we know which ones here are part of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners?
No, I don't.
No, I think we should find that out.
That should be determined.
You know, I might propose that, for consideration, that if we're all in agreement it's gonna come from someone, some firm from this list, maybe we interview a couple from this list and then ask them what they think regarding a forensic audit versus a normal audit, and then see what they have to say.
Yeah, I would also like to try to get a better understanding before our next meeting about the importance of having the forensic auditor come from a different firm than who our annual CAFR will be written by. There is some thought that in order to have true independence, the more independent opinions you have, the better the information will be. And I think that might be something that we deem to be very important in our recommendation to the Board of Finance.
Mike, and Mike Frieda for that matter, I guess my thought was sort of in line with what Mike Frieda said, which is that as I hear the discussion, I see us perhaps pursuing maybe sort of two paths. One which says, okay, we have our basic audit, let's discuss it, and perhaps let's discuss it too with some sort of expanded, or ask in the RFP, you know, what else would it cost, or what would you do if we expanded in terms of just policies and procedures. And then perhaps a second, meaning RFP, I'm not sure how to state it exactly, which says, okay, if we were to do a forensic audit, how would it be handled? What would be covered? What's the cost? Does it make sense to do it that way? Unfortunately, none of the four of us here are experts in probably either of these areas, and we're sort of feeling our way through. I'll say that one of my concerns with your idea, especially as you start to go back in years, Mike, is the cost-benefit analysis. In that, you know, I guess you could say the money's going, if you will. Okay? Are we going to get it back to the extent that someone was proven guilty here? I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows. But the allegations that you read to me, the ones I've read in the paper, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not saying in terms of relative importance to the town, individually, they don't seem like they're a lot of money. In aggregate and over the years, yes, it may be a lot. My guess is we're not going to get it back. So at some point, if we go further down the road, we're going to have to measure, okay, what's going to cost us for potential forensic audit versus what the recovery may be. Knowing what we already know isn't going to help us. What's most important, I think, is how do we prevent this sort of thing in the future? And that's, I think, more where the policies and procedures come in place, and are our internal controls sufficient enough to prevent this in the future? But I think if the committee wants to investigate both areas, and we can talk about how exactly to do that.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you very much for considering this and for allowing us to further investigate and progress on this dual path. Because, again, anything less than this is really going to be seen as being inadequate in our mission to make to solve the problems that have occurred and to move ahead with greater vision. And I just want to thank you both for allowing us to possibly recommend this to the Board of Finance. It's unbelievably important.
Understood. You know, as I said at the outset, we want to make sure we're doing the appropriate thing, the right thing for the taxpayers in the town.